저거 제나 양스 다 돈도 다데 미 라라 칭에 나조 정액이 미디 셈라 가르되고서나 대wan 되고 알고 내가 대화래 면도가 동하래 다 된도 가나 다 고닝제 고시아사 대wan 되나야 대화 춥신게 면도 삼바체 동해 면도 나야 동해 교 빵신게 면도 섬는데 셔럽게 셴네 대가라 닝지그 세네 다코 대화 양다고 지 토벌쇼 선을 삼고와데 잠바송하래 잠배심게 와 잠배심게 와야 딩이기 연대 줘봐 근데 봐라 거의 약불해 거의 연대여래 세두스 봐 거기 연대 제조나라 잡다 제도서나 당아서 빼 소사려래 대외의 중에 두사려래 어다 제조나라 지금 대기 중요하게 교대래 탑시 대래 어다 산재 고반 중요하게 탑시 어다 대래 이제 다 장주 셈 생각되네 셈제 탐제라 미배 고네 근데 단대 메디 조제베 셈제 탐제 다 대화단단 버쇼 동가다 들어와쇼 조바 산재 고반 토버쇼 삼배 냠내 제바디 다 계세 장주서 만남지 다 계세 라레 티 송한다
再来，我们看第14句。某人百般恶言毁谤我，而且宣扬传遍3000界，仍以仁慈之心对待他，赞彼功德乃是佛子行。这里头，就像前面讲的，有些人他因为自己的烦恼心，他心中升起的一些嫉妒或者是竞争的一种心态，然后呢，在这社会上呢，不断的说我们的一些坏话。造谣是非，比如说我是强盗，我是小偷等等这种诬赖的话，好像去宣传的遍满整个3000大千世界一样。那么我们面对这个人的时候，我们要想到，其实他心里头他也是想要得到安乐，他也是想要远离痛苦。可是现在他很可悲，非常可怜。他想要获得安乐，却不会去做善事；想要远离痛苦，却一直在做恶事。因此，我们以这样的智慧之眼呢，能够见到这样的情形的时候，从智慧之中升起对他的一种悲心，去同情他当下的一个处境，希望他能够远离种种痛苦，获得种种安乐。在这种心念下，我们反过来还赞叹他所具有的功德。说他哪个地方是好的，哪个地方呢是很优秀的，这样的时候自己也累积了很大的一个资粮，同时自己也是这个社会稳定和平的一个来源所在，就是没有继续在制造纷争，也让大家周遭的人都产生了一种和乐安乐。所以呢，在当下的时候，我们就可以发愿，为了一切有情众生，尤其是以当下这个的人，当下这个诬赖我们的这个人，我们希望他离苦得乐，快速成就圆满佛果。这种发心是佛子应该所具有的发心。
Now is on verse 14. Even if someone broadcasts throughout the billion worlds all sorts of offensive remarks about one, speaking in terms of that person's qualities with a loving mind is a bodhisattva's practice. There are some people in this world because they themselves are inflicted with confusions, delusions, and they have the mind of competition and jealousy and so on. So they are blaming and blaming us or blaming others something that we have not done, and they slander, talk bad about things, and even broadcast throughout the billions of worlds. Then at this point, at this moment, we can think that in our mind that that everyone would like to have peace, the peace and free from suffering, but due to the delusion that the person has, then in order, they think that by doing that they will get some happiness. So it's completely the wrong view. They think that by doing negative virtues they will get happiness. Actually, by observing, using our wisdom to observe that that person is actually having wrong view, is mistaking the happiness get from the non-virtues is real happiness. So with that wisdom, we generate compassion for them and wish them to be free from suffering and have all happiness. And instead of feeling anything besides wishing them to free from suffering and have all happiness, we can also praise them, speaking good about that person's good qualities with a loving mind. And in this way, we can generate a lot of merit, and we ourselves can also harmonize the environment of not having a competing attitude, and also when we are facing negative circumstances, our mind can remain in peace, and so the whole environment will have peace and happiness. So if we are facing this negative situation where people are slandering us, so in return we speak in terms of the that person's good qualities with a loving mind is a bodhisattva's practice.
If I to the Jewish do come on, you do it. You should have the original district the verse number 9 said that the pleasure of the three realms is as fleeting as a drop on the tip of a blade of grass, vanishing in a single moment, striving for supreme state of never-changing liberation is the Bodhisattva's practice. If I little bit repress this, this is a demarcation. This is talking, explaining the demarcation between samsara and nirvana. It's very important. First, what makes samsara and what makes nirvana? See, it's not denying there's no peace and happiness in samsara. So we do have peace and happiness in samsara. No? That's for sure. But that kind of peace and happiness is so temporary. Said here's a blade of grass, a drop of water on the blade of grass is so momentary. It can drop down on the ground in any time. Likewise, our peace and happiness in the samsara. So here saying this, how to free from this kind of, it's called suffering of change. How to free from suffering of change, and especially the condition of suffering. No matter how successful we may be in the samsara, still suffering is bound to come. So how to free from this kind of suffering? That is here giving this such profound wisdom. Since we want peace and happiness in any way, and we make effort for this, dedicating all our life, body, speech, mind, toward this goal. So here, what striving for the supreme state of never-changing liberation. So this never-changing liberation is that peace and happiness. If we achieve this one, then it's something like never changes. That means we have to free from the samsara. So how to free from the samsara? In other days, I have mentioned this quite a few times. What is the root cause of samsara is mental affliction and karma. So, mental affliction is based on the ignorance. See? Due to the ignorance that is rooted within us, all the rest of the mental affliction manifests from this. Because of this, the karma, the different layers of the karma we create from this. Until we take care of this, we cannot expect real peace and happiness. See? So, this, I made a quotation from Nagarjuna. When what we will call liberation, it is said in the Nagarjuna said, when this mental affliction and the karmas are exhausted, fully taken care of, then that's the kind of the demarcation which call free from samsara. Then in that sense, Nagarjuna said same. Then what's the root cause of mental affliction and the karma? It's the perception, the conceptual perception. Means all the mental activities which is based on the self-grasping, ignorance. So from this, then it brings all the liberation. We liberate all the mental activities. So how to take care of that liberation is when we have the kind of, when we are convinced the understanding of the emptiness and practice that. So when we practice the emptiness, this is not, emptiness is something, it's a say, nothing exists independently. Especially like there is no self, such called a self or soul, something like independent. No. Everything is manifestation. Manifest from emptiness, dissolves into emptiness. Realize that. When we have that kind of realization of this emptiness, then it's called the grasping. The grasping based on the mental delusion is cease to exist. So that is what is, if you are looking for what means free from samsara. So that is something that we individually have to make effort and see. So that's why precious human life makes sense, because this precious human life has the every opportunity to exercise this wisdom. That wisdom allow us, to kind of say all these possibilities and opportunity gives us. So how to free from samsara. See, thought this is important. So this is not something can happen just by praying. Say, may I free from samsara. You know, there's no magic in this Ravaya. So this is something that practically we have to work on the base on as other dimension, shamatha and wisdom. The wisdom and the compassion. See, I thought just make little clear on this. That theory. Three 하고 쳐서 같이 쳐서 제니 숨쉬가 두 쳐서 하고 쳐서. So today I think we have done well. I try not to say too much. 너도 책도 사부야래. 내가서는 디 오늘 가서 태가를 쭉 누르는데 깔아. 대단히 주투기 말이 삼바준 거 알아. 가브가브로와. 배나 근데 수단 되죠와게 다근 너. 탐제 톡도 주나야. 어디 지금 말대라. 달라 예바 중세 메신다. 간다다겐고 쩌셔나. 인지와게 디반남 달라렘바 제셀란레스도와. 항상도 가와요 그래서 저와 말한 예바 메신도 더러 민경 고쳐나 더러 부지셔서는 꼭 말해서 기로와. 이래 상의 용식이래. 와. 인도가 누들 빼 선부 쉽다 땅네. 로 림바 망고요 알았어. 와. 레 땅보 베냐메지나. 내가 레 딩기 추냠네 징은 딩기 냠네제다. 근데 추베 추냠네 빼장주서 처먹 냠네제다. 상마 너는 뒤시하래. 인정 가서 넌다 도도치라 삼단계 말을. 로 림바 망고 삼무 땅네.
这里头的意思，有本身的一些内容。我们乍看这个词句的时候，有时候会想到说，这种话谁能够做得到？就是这么难的一个情况。比如说，这里头有讲到说，自己一点过错也没有，某人竟然要来断我头，仍然慈悲将彼诸罪过由我来受，是佛子行。就是说，在社会上，我们遇到一个人不断说我们坏话，然后我们对他呢，我们还要跟他说声谢谢，感恩你这样子。这就是说，谁能够做得到？然后听起来像是只有傻瓜才能做得到的这样的一个行为。其实呢，这里头是我们要分析一下我们自己的一种思维的一种增长。一开始初学者该怎么做，到了中阶的情况是什么样子，最后呢，这种大菩萨他们是怎么样落实他们的菩萨行的，他们是有分阶段的，这个非常困难做，但是呢，我们要按照次第的一步一步的一个往前走。
So the teaching is included in this 37 Bodhisattvas practice is very profound. So, for example, we look at number 13, that we say, even if others try to cut off one's head when one is utterly blameless, and taking upon oneself all the negative deeds by the power of compassion is Bodhisattva's practice. And then we will think that who can really do it is very difficult. It's not in reality. Maybe only foolish people can do it. But we can use it like the mental. This is a kind of a mental training. The mental training have beginning, in the middle, and also at the end, like a Bodhisattva's practice. So even though it is difficult, but we can do it. We should do it according to our own ability.
Yes, sometimes when you read, you feel this is not a practical thing, It's just a delusion, another, It's, like here, even if someone broadcasts throughout the billion world all sorts of offensive remarks about one, myself, speaking in turn of the person's qualities with a loving mind is the Bodhisattva's practice. So I have done nothing, and still they are blaming how I can take it. This is not practical thing to do. This is how I can survive in the world. I'll say eye for eye. See, this thing sometimes we can have this, but we chant this, Well, not having practice. A lot of people chant this, and not thinking about this, So sometimes I feel that's strange, This is it's very important. Many layers of the practices. What one can do absolute state, and what one can do from the beginning. See, this Lord Jigdasungpan, he describes Bodhisattva's practice very skillfully. Things it's very important to see. They are ordinary Bodhisattva, and then the more little advanced practitioner, and then the very advanced, the Bodhicitta practitioner. Say the beginner one, is said, that time I cherish more than others. Practical, In the practical application, I cherish. For example, if I'm really hungry, and then there's somebody comes, can you give me my food? Say, oh, wait a minute, I'm really hungry. I can't give you this, See, so that kind of stare, that's ordinary. Practical application, we have to see carefully. Mentally, you practice for all sentient beings, because it's the beginning of the training. See how you start your training. Then you step by step follow the practice. And then you see, I and all are equal. See, as I want peace and happiness, and all sentient beings want peace and happiness, in that there's no difference. See, you can feel, what's the difference? So equal, understanding of equal oneself and all sentient beings. See. Then after that, when you are trained that more and more, all sentient beings, look at all sentient beings. Not just only also motivation, but also from the point of view of understanding of illusory nature. Everything is just a manifestation. Everything is just your mental reflection, your karmic reflection. Nothing exists independently, as we perceive. Like a moon's reflection in the lake, you see moon in the lake, but there's no moon. It's just a reflection. So everything is your reflection you see. They not exist independently as I see, but it's just a reflection. See these things. Now, from the wisdom point of view, understand this practice this. Then you see, there you have such kind of that wisdom. Now, seeing everything is just a manifestation, just a reflection, just an illusory nature, just like a mirage. You can see the mirage river running in the desert, but there's no river, no water. But you see that you cannot deny. But see your perception. So all around the people in the world is just like that. It's not just a Buddhist method. It's not just a Buddhist belief. It's the reality nature. You see this. Then, based on that wisdom, then you have such great compassion. See. Even though that's the case, that's reality nature, but sentient beings shall not realize this. No? Their suffering is so immense. The vicious cause of suffering is surrounded in the heart, in the mind, so deluded. And because of this suffering is there so much in the world. No? You see that? And then with this power of the wisdom and compassion, you can tolerate these kind of practices, you see. Even somebody cuts your head, you can take it because you have that kind of wisdom. You have that kind of confidence in the Dharma, no? In the realization of Buddha's teaching. So there are so many layers of the practices in this, so you have to understand that. And then you do your part, whatever you can, you see, without overwhelmed. No, sometimes we are overwhelmed. This is Bodhisattva's path, how I can do this? It's not possible, you know. We may think that way. No, so don't feel that. Do it. And this is the power of the mind. As beginner mentioned, our mind is very complex. Mind is very complicated, very sophisticated, very vast, very profound. You know, it's our just dealing our own mind. Sometimes I can't believe my mind is that kind of crooked, you know. But Buddha's wisdom is there. So that's why Buddha's teaching kind of say how much skill, wisdom is there. You know? It's just, you cannot explain how much the wisdom is there, how profound the teachings are, because our mind is very profound. So to comprehend the complexity of the mind, Buddha taught that kind of wisdom teachings. You know? So that's why those who were convinced the way Buddha taught, we really feel so fortunate. Just follow the path. So I must have done something good from my previous life. Now I have to make effort this life. No? Because sometimes you see here non-attachment with, you know, this is very difficult, you know. What is, well, here we have, see, let's say verse number 2, look at here, you see. The mind of attachment to loved ones wavers like river. The mind of the hatred towards enemies burn like fire. The mind of ignorance, which forgets what is to adopt and what is to discard, is greatly obscured. Abandoning one's homeland is the Bodhisattva's path, practice. So how I can give up my home? I'm not ready yet, This is not for my practice. So those are says. There's so many ways of the practitioner. Absolute way of the how to practice, and how to practice from the beginning. We have to have that. We have to have that kind of understanding, wisdom. Many layers, step by step. Then that much we can expect our result as well. Sometimes we do little practice and expect very high result, That's also not so practical, Okay. This is just to pass the time. Is it helpful? You see, this is how you see. So that's why, as mentioned, we appreciate, rejoice. How Buddha gives to achieve the absolute result we are talking about, attain Buddhahood in one lifetime. Then you can practice this like this. Then, otherwise you can negotiate, you see. So how much, maybe I can practice this much. Then, so okay, you practice this much and you'll get that much. See? Thank you so much, wonderful. Now please take a deep breath. Exhale. Again, please appreciate, rejoice. I came all the way here. My teachings, and I'm so fortunate to have this opportunity. So I dedicate my life to study, practice Dharma step by step. So Buddha's wisdom, compassion is immense. As a matter of fact, whole Buddha's body, speech, mind is dedicated to all the sentient beings' service. Buddha himself or herself, free from all those delusions and suffering. Now Buddha needs nothing because Buddha got everything. So from that, he shared, or she shared, he shared. Because I'm saying this because Buddha is pervasive. Shared all the wisdom and compassion for the sentient beings like us. That's why we take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. We try to follow Buddha's step. It's always is important to feel fortunate. And what important is we always pay attention to purify our mental delusions, mental afflictions like ignorance, attachment, anger, pride, jealousy. These are the root cause of suffering everywhere. Buddhist or non-Buddhist, believer or non-believer. But Buddha taught us this. So from today, I dedicate myself to do this. I rejoice, feel happy, and follow the Buddha joyfully. That's our advantage. So with this, we'll say a few dedication prayers. Chanjo semjo Rinpoche ma ge ba nama ge gyuroji ge ba nya ba me barayang one gondo bewarajo chanjo semjo Rinpoche ma ge ba nam ge gyuroje ge ba nya ba me barayang one gondo bewarajo chanjo semjo Rinpoche ma ge ba nam ge gyuroje ge ba nya ba me barayang one gondo be